my channel. As you can see, I've just woken up, but it's time to get started. So today I'm going to be talking about my delivery and labor story. I think it's really important to talk about it because what I've learned is that no two births are the same. There's distorted images out there that, oh, like, because your mum had that delivery, you're going to have that delivery. Because your sister went through that labour, you're also going to go through that labour. No, it's not true. So it's actually important to talk about it and give different accounts of what happens, because I thought, oh yeah, it's going to be, obviously you're in pain, but I didn't think that what ended up happening to me was going to happen. So yeah, but today we have somebody who is awake. Yes. Say hello. Say hi. I got the hiccups. Hello. Yes, he's awake today, and as you can see, he was dressed because we are going to the shops today. They open. I need to buy him some bits, so that's where we will be heading to. We're gonna get there really early. That's why he's dressed and I'm not. So I get him dressed first, then I get myself dressed, do my hair, everything. Yeah. Hello, pumpkin. Yeah. So my delivery story. Where do I start? Here's a short clip of Azai during the week. I hope you enjoy. Is it me? Yeah. Is it mama? Hi. Been sweat? Yeah. Hello.
Coming up after the break, urgent cancer referrals down by 60% during the COVID crisis. British gas owner Centrica announces it's cutting 5,000 jobs.
Yeah.
The COVID crisis.
Every day.
No?
What are you doing, Nana? I was having some private time with my mom, and you are filming me, which I'm really happy about. Yes. Mom.
Would work make me feel like this?
Does it make me feel like losing?
Yeah. I know. We have to get ready to go out. Yeah. Yes. Or no?
I don't think I want to go out, Mom. Is it raining outside?
No, it's not raining anymore.
Oh, nice. Maybe if I have a little
No more BS.
Oh, she said there's no BS one.
Things might start looking up.
Not okay.
Yes. Hello. Yeah.
Oh.
DIY home and garden.
If you think Carol's been a real superstar, or if Steven's a birthday treat, send a personal
What else?
box with their favourite chocs to make any occasion that extra bit special and official mega.
What else? Why are you doing your eyebrows like that?
Send your old man a delicious Father's Day gift. He'll be gobsmacked. There's a favourite for everyone. Just add their name, we'll do the rest.
Still filming me, are you? I need to put my hands together. Do I like being filmed? I could end up being really famous, you know. Yes.
It's me. It's Mama. Kisses. Labour and delivery story. Where do I start? I started feeling twinges on Sunday. They were every 45 minutes, one every 45 minutes. So being a first time mum, I thought, oh, this is it. And they were quite strong. So I called the hospital because it was coronavirus times, and you weren't allowed to just turn up at the hospital. You had to call them before. They had to tell you, yes, it's okay to come, so they could write your name down. So I went. They checked me over, said that I'm not dilated and that I should take A, B, C, and D to help with the pain. So I went back home. I was trying to manage the pain at home. I didn't take what they told me to because I feel like if I'm about to give birth, why am I going to take what you've just told me to take? It makes no sense to me. So I was able to ride through the pain, sit and watch TV, have something to eat, and they just kept getting stronger and stronger. I was getting like 2 every 20 minutes. And at this point, I thought the pain was, up there, up there. I thought, let me go back to the hospital. I went to the hospital and again, they checked me over. Again, they checked me over and said, nope, you're not dilated. You need to go back home. I went back home. They said to me before I left that my contractions need to be about, 3 every 10 minutes? So I said, 3 every 10 minutes. Okay. So I went back home and the pain was really bad. Like when I would walk, it would stop me in my tracks. I couldn't do anything, just stand. I couldn't do anything. Sitting on a chair, I would ball up, trying to find the most comfortable position. Trying to find the most comfortable position I could find. And I was afraid to go back to the hospital because I'd already been twice. So I didn't want them to think, why does she keep coming all the time? But being a first-time mum, you don't know what you're supposed to feel, what you're supposed to do, how to manage the pain. You just want to get this baby out of you. And at this point, I was fed up. I felt like my personal space was being invaded. I just want him to come out. So, you okay? Yeah? I just want him to come out. So it did get to a point where it was super bad and I did go back to the hospital. And I had to climb the stairs because my midwife told me, do not get in the lift. Don't touch anything in the lift, obviously because of COVID-19. So I had to take the stairs, and going up to the 3rd floor wasn't fun. Nope, it wasn't fun. I had contractions trying to climb the stairs. I almost felt like I had to fall on the floor. I was crying. So when I got to the 3rd floor, they let me in, checked me over, and at this point, I was a centimeter dilated. I said, all this pain for 1 centimeter. I thought I had a really high pain threshold, but I guess not. So because I was 1 centimeter, they said to me, you know what, you're here, you might as well stay. So I stayed. They gave me something for the pain I had to take at this point, and it knocked me out. I just fell asleep. I woke up 6 hours later, and all I was 1 more centimeter dilated. So at this point, I was 2 centimeters dilated. And you weren't allowed anybody in the room with you because of COVID-19 until you were in established labor, which they said was 4 centimeters. So I was there by myself, having to go through pain, on gas and air, and no one was allowed to come in with me. But as it got to a certain point, I was 3 centimeters, and the midwife, she was really nice, and she said that your birthing partner can come into the room with you. So my birthing partner came in, and we were sitting there. I can't remember how many hours went past, but they finally moved me into the room where you start to give birth. And at this point, I didn't know what to do with myself. Gas and air was helping quite a bit, actually. It was making you feel dizzy and blurred, and like you just felt really good at this point. Like I could still feel the pain, but I did not care with the gas and air. That rhymed. So it got to a stage where, now this is just TMI, but this is motherhood as real as it gets, so I'm giving it to you. No glitz, no glam, nothing. It got to a point where I couldn't really walk. Trying to get to the toilet, I had to have assistance get into the toilet. I couldn't sit down to go to the toilet. I had all blood pouring, urine pouring. My socks were drenched. Even to get back onto the bed, I had to have help. It was bad. And if I jump into the future, into a couple of hours, I jumped from 3 centimeters to 8 centimeters dilated and passed out. So obviously, from what I was told, it was all frantic, trying to get me to stay awake, tapping my face. Yeah. And I remember waking up and they were like, Ashanti, you need to wake up, this is for the health of your son, you need to wake up, you need to turn over, because at this point his heart rate was dropping really low. I think it was about between 60 and 80 beats per minute, which is really low. So because I jumped from 3 to 8 centimeters, I passed out. And it got to about, I'm at Wednesday. It got to Wednesday early in the morning, about 2 a.m. and I'd had enough. I was in so much pain. Before then, I felt the urge to push, and I was told not to because I wasn't 10 centimeters dilated. And having to hold back that urge to push, having to hold it back, it was painful. I have never felt pain like that in my entire life. I thought dental pain was bad, but this pain was excruciating. All I had was gas and air because I didn't want an epidural. I didn't want it. But it got to Wednesday about 2 a.m. that I'd had enough. I couldn't do it anymore. I was exhausted. I'd passed out. Isaiah's heart rate was dropping, going up, down. So I had to have the epidural. And I said to the midwife, you need to bring that person in here right now because I can't do this anymore. I was crying. It was an emotional time, really emotional. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah. It was really emotional. So they came in, they gave me the epidural. I was as still as possible because that needle, that needle was no joke, absolutely no joke at all. So I had the epidural and then I was able to relax. It's like all the pain just went away like it never, ever, ever, ever happened. And I was on the baby monitor for his heartbeat and they told me to turn on to my left side, his heart rate didn't improve. Turn on to my right side, his heart rate didn't improve. So they was tossing me backwards and forwards. And I was in, like, you know when you can't really move properly because of the heaviness and everything. It got to a point where she was like, if you do not turn over quick enough, you are not going to meet your son. So when you hear those words, you like even reminiscing now, it gets really emotional for me because hearing those words, you've carried this person for 40 weeks, and the midwife is telling you if you do not do X, Y, and Z within how many seconds, you're not going to meet your son. So I was like tossing and, trying to just ride through it and do what she told me to do because obviously I love my son and I wanted to meet him. Yeah, so potentially she was telling me that he could not make it into the world if I didn't do what she told me really, really, really quickly. The doctors came back in and checked me and I was only 9 centimeters and they said, right, you failed to progress, like we're gonna have to do an emergency cesarean because of how his heart rate was so erratic. Because of how his heart rate was so erratic. So they came in pretty quickly. I signed the consent form. Reading the consent form was really worrying because you had all these side effects, potential things that could happen, infections, bleeding, the possibility of a hysterectomy. But I had to sign it really, really quickly and they whisked me off really, really quickly into that theatre. And then once I was in there, my temperature was going up and up and up, and it reached a point where it was 38.9. So they did the cesarean. They did the cesarean, and he arrived at 5:29 on Wednesday, the 1st of April. And I remember like seeing him and they dropped the curtain. It was that feeling. I would never ever forget it. His head was swollen because he was because he was stuck in the birth canal. He was trying to come out, but I was failing to progress in the amount of centimeters dilated I was. So his head was swollen, but it reduced in size within an hour, because when I went to meet him properly, his head wasn't swollen. When they were doing the C-section, I could feel tearing. I said to the lady, I can feel what they are doing. She's like, no, it's just uncomfortable pulling. I said, that is not uncomfortable pulling. I had gas and air. I said, that's not uncomfortable pulling. I can feel the tearing and it feels awful. Can you top me up? So she topped me up with the epidural, and from that point I couldn't feel anything. All I could feel was pulling and tugging and things like that. So that was fine. I remember asking her, can you put me to sleep? But then I thought, he's just been born. If I'm put to sleep, then, you know, what does that mean for him? Even though I had my birthing partner there with me, what does that mean for him? So they asked me, do you want to give him vitamin K? And I was like, yeah. Because I was exhausted. I could feel the tugging. It was really uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm soon done. It was really uncomfortable. And yeah. And then they whisked me off. It was about, before they took me into the recovery room, I was in there for about 45 minutes, they said, getting him out, stitching me back up. And it felt like about 10 minutes, to be honest. Maybe because I was on the gas and air and I had the top up of epidural. But it felt like 10-15 minutes. Yeah, that experience. I did not plan for an emergency cesarean section. I didn't plan for that. I thought I was going to have a natural vaginal birth, because I'd gone through being 1 centimeter to being 9 and not progressing. That's over a course of 3 days from well, I wasn't dilated on Sunday, but having the contractions, having the pain, going through all of that. Like, if I had have known, if I had planned for a C-section, I would have had the epidural from the start. So I would have never felt the pain. I would have never passed out. I wouldn't have been dripping. I wouldn't have his heart rate up and down and up and down. And you know when the heart rate monitor is on and you can hear do, 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 do. And then it just goes do, do, do. The fear that enters your body. The fear that enters your body. Like, no birth story is the same. None at all. And I just want people to understand that your birth plan also never goes to plan, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows. But your delivery and labour story that your mum has, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, is never the same. And I just think that telling people how it is can prepare them better to know that, okay, it's not going to be how I think it's going to be. But I will also do another video on postpartum and my recovery, which wasn't pretty. That first poo. Yeah, so I just want to say to everybody, thank you for watching. To all the people going through their season of pregnancy, I pray that the Lord will give you the strength that you need to create your own birth and delivery story, and that you deliver your healthy little person in the name of Jesus. Amen. So from myself and Zai, we will say, have a great week, and we shall see you very soon with more content. Take care, guys. Bye for now. Azai. Bungin. Say bye.